Good day. Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and welcome to the EAC Show. This is going to be our Logan Paul, Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather episode. I was going to discuss a bunch of baseball, football, and all types of stuff, but after this happened today, after I saw the kind of like melee before the press conference or after the press conference at Hard Rock Stadium, this is more entertaining than anything else, so I needed to speak on it, to be honest with you. Like, real talk, Jake Paul, if this is staged, I applaud them. You guys are doing the best staging job I've ever seen in my life. This is better than wrestling. This is better than anything that you put out there, because in all actuality, it's grabbing people's attention. Whether Floyd Mayweather really did hit Jake Paul in the face or whatever it may be, like, this is just completely and utterly entertaining, and I'm here all for it. It's in beautiful sunny South Florida at the Hard Rock Stadium. They're hosting it there. It's going to be Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a boxing exhibition, and obviously the press conference was today. Floyd said some things, Logan said some things, Jake was out there trolling to the max, and somehow in some way, shape, or form it ended up in a tunnel with Jake and Floyd, and they went back and forth, and Jake was trolling him a lot, basically saying, yo, let's do a 2-for-1 deal. You ain't the man. Let me get Al Heyman on the phone. He was kind of like making him feel kind of small, and Mayweather being Mayweather wasn't backing down not one bit. He was hearing all of it. Listen, I don't need nobody. I'm a boss's boss. I can handle my own business. And Jake went to the extreme and pulled out I think it was a Austin Powers, Dr. Evil, I got your hat, taking the hat off the Ku Klux Klan member at the Jerry Springer show and running around and trying to take Floyd Mayweather's hat. And Mayweather's bodyguards jumped in. Floyd threw a punch. I'm not 100% sure if it landed or not, but Floyd threw a punch. Jake has a black eye. All the attention is now drawn off his brother. No one's even thinking about Logan Paul anymore. Everybody's paying attention to what happened between Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. I'm going to try to pull it up. I actually have the video for it. Let me see if I can pull it up right now, guys. Maybe you guys will be able to hear it. You guys will be able to see it on YouTube. It's kind of long, I'm not going to lie. But this is basically Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Jake Paul exchange inside of the tunnel. Trolling. Let me call Al Heyman. Now this is why I thought it was a little bit fake, to be honest with you, because Floyd's bodyguards don't really do a good job of anything in particular. If Floyd's bodyguards are really trying to, get at Jake Paul, he would have been stomped out a long time ago. Too many cameras, everybody just holding cameras around, so I do feel it's a bit staged, but it was rather entertaining. Logan Paul ends up jumping in. Nobody does anything to him because obviously nobody wants to ruin the fight. So a lot of the rest of that is basically just Floyd Mayweather running around telling basically everybody he doesn't want to feel disrespected or whatever it may be. Yo, Floyd, I applaud you. If you guys came up with this shit and figured out a way to make it all entertaining I fucking applaud the shit out of you, without a doubt. Like that shit was no joke. It was amazing. It makes people want to watch. It makes people want to see what the fuck is going on. What's really going to happen? Is Floyd going to put the living beats on these boys, or one of these boys, or both of these boys, or whatever it may be? It's just entertaining to watch now, and I'm so excited to see it. It's going to be here in beautiful sunny South Florida. What a backdrop for it as well at the Hard Rock Stadium. That place is immaculate when it comes to certain things. The new tennis courts that they got there. Logan was stunting. He was flying in on his helicopter. Floyd had his presidential entourage showing up and shit. And look, not for nothing, I'm just going to keep it real with you. The height difference in this fight is ridiculous. Like, Logan Paul makes Floyd Mayweather Jr. look like a black elf. Like, that small. Like, he's that little. He's that tiny. I don't even know, like, if this would really be, if it was a real fight, would these two even fight because of the height difference and the reach difference? I don't even know. Floyd is the greatest fighter of all time, but still, it's only an exhibition. But it's a no-lose situation for Logan Paul. If he gets knocked the fuck out, he's supposed to get knocked the fuck out. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the best boxer that ever lived. And if he pulls off a decent fight, or if he actually has a chance to win or knocks out Floyd, he looks great. It looks amazing for him. There's no lose on these YouTuber celebrity boxing fighting actual fighters. There's no lose for them because they're supposed to lose. They're supposed to lose. And while they might get a chance to lose, they're gonna win a lot. They're gonna make a lot of fucking money doing it. So I applaud their entrepreneurship. I think it's smart. I don't think it's dumb at all. Now, mind you, if these guys were someone else, I don't think they would be getting away with some of the shit they're doing. Because some of the shit they're doing is just completely and utterly asinine. But I applaud the entertainment part of it. I applaud that they're capturing people's eyes and attentions and opinions. And now you got to talk about it. Now Dana White has to answer questions about it. Now Usman has to answer questions about Jake Paul and this and third. They are doing exactly what they're setting out to do. They are fooling everyone to think they give a shit when they don't give two shits about anything. So they're doing what they're supposed to do, and they're drawing attention. It's more YouTubers, it's more views on Instagram. He's trending on Twitter. It's just their plan is exactly working the way they want. Now, mind you, these are the same kids that took a video of a person in Japan or someplace over there overseas in like a suicide forest where somebody was committing suicide, and they actually took video of the person dangling from a tree. That should have ended his life, his career right then and there, but it didn't. These kids were able to bounce back from this shit, and now they're on top of the world when it comes to putting on these little I want to say little, sorry, bad choice of words. Putting on these celebrity boxing extravaganzas. It's fucking insane. We're going to have Floyd Mayweather Jr., the best boxer of all time, fighting against Logan Paul, who is 0-1. He lost to another fucking YouTuber. And Floyd's justification for it is I can fight him and make more money fighting him in less time because of his following and the value he brings to this event. By all means, I've said this years ago, even before I had the show. In my opinion, Floyd Mayweather had such a strong hold on boxing that the minute he gave it up, the value of boxing dropped exponentially. And that's no shade to any boxer out there doing anything. I applaud every boxer that's out there doing anything. You work hard, you should reap all the rewards from your fruits of your labor. So I'm not knocking any boxer. But when it comes to putting on a show and entertaining and getting people to pay and watch you either get knocked out or knock somebody out, Floyd Mayweather was at the height of heights. And these guys, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, whoever else, they figured out how to take a shortcut to that shit. Not that they're not putting in work, because they really are putting in work. They really are boxing and shit, and they really are training and stuff like that to get ready for these types of fights. So not to say that they're not putting in fucking work, but they've taken the shortcut to show we are valued higher than a lot of these boxers that are sitting there just killing themselves for what they call peanuts, because they're not getting the bigger chunk, because they got to break off the promotion, they got to break off the broadcasting, they got to break off their managers, they got to break off. It just turns into a shit show where these guys literally just like, look, we're our own businesses. You just got to pay me and that's it. Nothing else. End of story. These guys are even smart enough to where they're moving to Puerto Rico for tax purposes. The people in fucking Puerto Rico don't even get those types of tax breaks that they're getting. So they're being smart about how they're conducting their business and what they're doing with it. They're providing entertainment value to viewers that want to see this type of shit. There's kids that literally will sit there and not listen to their parents to watch Jake Paul versus Logan Paul fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. They're going to do it. They're going to figure out a way to watch it. With today's world, with the capability of streaming online and being able to see things, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever social media platform, they will figure out a way to watch this shit, and it will be instant. It will be an instant hit, whether Logan Paul, wins, loses, whatever. It doesn't matter. If Floyd Mayweather knocks him out, if he gets knocked out, people are going to view it one way, shape, or form, and it's going to be the most trending topic on social media, and everybody's going to have to show it. Everybody's going to have to talk about it. Everybody's going to have to say something on this matter. I think what happened today was 10 times better than anything that's happened in any other way in whatsoever. Mind you, maybe his brother who's not even in the fight, ended up taking and eating a shot to the eye. His brother will do that because now all it's going to do is increase how many more people are going to watch this shit. They pulled off a home run. Whoever came up with this smart ass shit, hat tip to you, golf clap, all that stuff. It was genius. It was pure genius. Vince McMahon, you should go hire the person that decided to come up with this idea for this press conference and this little melee that Jake Paul pulled off with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and his bouncers and all types of shit, or his bodyguards. Whoever decided to come up with that idea was a genius, an entertaining genius. Everybody's watching it. Everybody's talking about it. No one's shutting the hell up about it. And now even more people want to watch the fight more than anything else. So I applaud and I respect exactly what was done today at that press conference. The actual fighter didn't get touched. Logan Paul didn't get touched. His brother ate it for him. His brother was like, I'll take the L for this one. And let's just big it up more. Let's just create more buzz to it. Let's just get people more excited and more interested in trying to watch this fight. So I applaud it. I'm so happy that this shit happened today. Literally, I'm so happy because it took my energy level from here to up here, because it was just, it's mind-blowing. This is what people want to see. People want to see this type of shit. They're tired of what you've been giving them and milking them with. You've been milking them with this, oh, here's this match, and here's this boxing match, and these people are giving them what the people want to see. They want to see this. They want to see this type. It started back in the days with McGregor versus Floyd, when everybody was sitting there saying, look, this shouldn't even be a fight. This shouldn't happen. And everyone tuned in to watch. Now, these kids are just realizing, look, we can do the same exact shit. And Floyd just has to fight us for 5 rounds. You don't even have to put up a whole 12 rounds or whatever it may be. And this is some exhibition shit, some light shit, some real, advanced sparring type of stuff. So I'm so happy for them. I think they're going to hit a home run with this. I think they're going to do a ridiculous amount of buys. Dana White is not going to be able to say that they're lying about how much you're doing on these buys, because you have Floyd, who's a respectable entertainer in that space. Like, Dana respects Floyd's business acumen. So there's no way that Dana's going to come out and say, oh, they're lying about the numbers they did on this one, because Floyd is attached to it. And Floyd ain't built like that. He's not built to make up fake numbers. So Floyd is going to back his numbers and sit there and say, this is what we did. This is the pay-per-views that we did. This is the money that we got. So for sure, 100%, I really do feel like Dana White has no interest in sitting there saying that the numbers that this match between Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather Jr. is going to do, I don't think he has any. I think he would not deny that those are official numbers. Maybe you could sit there and say, look, the other fight between Paul and whatever and the UFC fighter, that shit was fake. Like, those numbers aren't real. That's fine, because those people don't really have credibility. But when it comes to Floyd Mayweather and him getting people to watch fights and him getting people to pay for pay-per-views and get in the bag, you can't argue with that. And I know Dana and I know that Floyd have respect for each other. They're still trying to figure out ways to do business with each other. So in all actuality, I think without question that this fight is going to be the most entertaining fight of the year when it comes to quote-unquote boxing, as I use air quotations, because it's celebrity boxing in my opinion. It's YouTube boxing in my opinion. It's not boxing per se, where a boxer is fighting another boxer. It's a boxer fighting a YouTube celebrity star who just so happens to box. So I'm just really looking forward to it. I can't see what the fuck happens. I can't wait. I mean, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's June 6th. Let me double check and make sure, because I just went off the cusp when I was looking all this stuff up. I mean, I'm looking up Logan Paul shit, and all it keeps saying is about Jake Paul. It doesn't even say anything. It doesn't even say anything about Logan Paul. It says absolutely nothing about Logan Paul. Hold on one second. Yeah, June 6th at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. I mean, to me, it just looked like a big-ass melee. It looked like, the bodyguard just got in the way. Floyd could never really get to him. Logan Paul didn't know like he really knew what to do, or even when he did get involved, no one really touched him, because obviously you got to leave him for the fight. So for me, as I'm getting a phone call, as I'm doing this show, I was just very, very excited. It was dope. I loved it a lot. I think that it was extremely, extremely entertaining. I just wish it was a little bit sooner or closer to the fight more than anything else. You still got some time for this fight to be able to, come to fruition, because it's like a month away, actuality. The fight's not happening till June 6th. It's only May 5th. So we still got a whole month for this fight to happen. So I think it gets worse. I think the build up to it or whatever other press conferences they got is just going to get worse and worse. I mean, Floyd was very, very adamant. I've never seen him that angry in my life, whether it was real or fake. Logan Paul was kind of composed and, trying to gather himself. I don't know necessarily was it because his brother was getting handled by a bunch of guys or whether he was just trying to stay in the moment and stay focused or whatever it may be. But yo, shout out to Jake Paul, the ultimate clown, the ultimate troller, the ultimate, look at me, I got your hat. That shit was hilarious. It was so funny. Whether it was real or whether it was not, I don't care. That shit was hands down pure Will Ferrell type comedy without question. It's like they should just let those kids do their own shit. I don't care if they make a punk or whatever. Let them do them. Let them do them. Just give them creative control. Let them run their own show. Let them do their own shit because, actually that shit was funny. That shit was hilarious. I mean, yeah, he probably had to eat a shot whether it was real or not. He ate it. It is what it is. He came out with a half-hearted apology. Didn't really mean to do it or whatever. And then it was like, yeah, I can suck my dick. He didn't mean none of that shit. So I think he's trolling to the utmost extreme, trying to get as much eyes and attention on his brother's fight more than anything else. And also draw some attention to him as well. He feels like, he's fought the UFC fighter. He's knocked out the UFC fighter, whereas his brother hasn't done really much. So his brother has this opportunity, and that's good. But Jake must feel some type of way and be like, yo, listen, let's do a 2-for-1 deal. You could get a BOGO. You can fight my brother, and you can fight me. We can make it happen. But I don't think that rubbed Floyd Mayweather the right way when Jake started to speak on, let's call Al Heyman, kind of like trolling him, because you can't do shit without Al Heyman. You need Al to get on the phone and handle it. And Floyd didn't like that not one bit. Floyd was like, man, fuck that shit. I'm my own man. I don't need nobody. Let's make it happen. We'll get the paperwork. We'll do it right now. So for me, that shit was dope. I can't wait to watch it. June 6th, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, right here in sunny South Florida. It stole the show. I had a whole show planned to talk about baseball and sports and this, that, and I just fucking canned it. I was like, there's no way that I'm speaking on anything else. This literally happened not too long ago. So I was like, yo, there's just no way. There's no way I'm going to fucking discuss anything else that doesn't have to do with this fight coming up real soon between Floyd Mayweather and Jake Paul. For me, it was entertaining. It was dope. It was funny. It was on some trolling shit. It was basically right up the alley that Jake Paul and Logan Paul have created for themselves. They've created that space to where they can be the idiots. They can be the idiots. They can be the clowns. They could be whatever it may be, and they can still be like, all right, look, we're going to do this. We're going to go get this bag. We're going to secure it because we're going to have fun and we're going to joke around with people and just, they still might get knocked the fuck out. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to really knock them the fuck out to shut them up. But until then, they're still going to keep doing it because it's just pure entertainment, in my opinion. And I can't wait to watch it in all actuality. So this show is literally just a show of me talking about what happened because it just shocked me when I saw it. It shocked me more than anything else. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of this shit ended up happening. So guys, make sure you click like, subscribe on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. This is the end of the Logan Paul and Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather episode. We appreciate all the love and support on Instagram and on Twitter, on all the social media platforms. Keep the engagement going up, and we'll see you guys next episode. Appreciate you guys. Take care.